We are back into the game, a little bit of acting. Sometimes the client doesn't like to cooperate, but apparently it is now stable. So let's quickly review now. The deck that I was trying to play last time was using red stealing effects and emerge creatures, plus a lot of sacrifice companions, but most of the time the merged creatures did nothing, even were detrimental to the deck. So in this new version, I've added madness creatures. So the idea is to chain the madness discount, and then when we want to emerge, the emerge cards are going to see the full cost of the card. Therefore, the strategy here is to try to madness everything and then emerge. I don't know if that is going to work so good, so let's go ahead. There's one way to see, and let's jump right into our games and let's go ahead. I do not have high hopes for the deck, but let's at least try to get some fun out of it. Um, After this, I'm finally going to try the red and green version of this on the following video. But for the time being, let's focus in this one. There are many madness cards that we could be using here, but I tried to focus in the creature cards, and some of them are very powerful, and there are a few discard enables, so we can trigger the discard on several different ways. So let's hope that we get into the sweet spot that we want. A little bit of lack of drawing power, but we have some few options to draw some extra cards. So this doesn't look horrible, so let's go ahead and keep that one. The Ravenous Bloodseeker lets us discard at our will, and we have one of the emerge guys. So let's go with the Evolving Wilds right off the bat. And we are having all the colors that we might want for later. Now let's keep going. The Ravenous Bloodseeker can discard a card to become more powerful during one turn. The Haunted Dead, she comes with a token. Okay, let's see this guy continue. Now the game is not automatically moving on because we can activate the Ravenous Bloodseeker. So Haunted Dead, we can play this one, and she brings a token with her, and we can activate the discard from the graveyard. So quite nice if we want to discard our stuff. Now the Bloodhall Priest, one of the most powerful of the Madness cards. So let's try to drop the Bloodhall Priest. So let's attack for quite a bunch here. There we go. Yes, I want to play this one. We deal 3, and now we move on. Next turn we have quite an interesting affair because we can attack for a bunch and emerge our Descendant Mindbender, and the Mindbender gets rid of some cards from the opponent's hand that might save us. We are seeing wastes, so there is the possibility of any powerful Eldrazi card against us. So Let's go ahead and attack here for a total of 5. We could consider to activating the Blood Seeker, but perhaps it is better to wait. Now let's see what the opponent has in the hand. So we are going to force him into discarding Nissa and the Green Warden of Murasa too. So the opponent ramping like there's no tomorrow, and we know that he has a Colossus there. The Colossus is quite dangerous with the Rogue's Passage, so it's going to be difficult for us to win this one. So here it is, but more dangerous than the Colossus is the Green Warden of Murasa that can bring back the cards from the graveyard. And let's play our own Rogue's Passage. We are going to attack with the Mindbender, and of course we do not want for the opponent to block our guy. There it is. The opponent also had the Nissa's renewal, so he is going to be at 14 after he plays that. Lucky for us, apparently he's only running green and colorless, so it's quite probable, it's very likely that the opponent has here it looks like the opponent has some form of trample, so I'm going to skip the blocking here. This gets renowned, it becomes quite powerful now. The larva is here now. So thanks to the Jari offshoot, the opponent gains 3 more life, so he gained 10 this turn, and in 2 attacks we are dead, unless we somehow do something more powerful. So let's begin by attacking with this one here, and I think that we can get rid of some of our lands. That is not going to be so painful. So do we want to kill this lone larva? I think we do. Let's get rid of the 100 dead, of course, right? Right, this one. These trades. Opponent at 12. Now let's play one swamp and one call the bloodline. So 2 different options are open for us. We might get 1/1/1 flying spirit, or a 1/1 vampire knight with lifelink. At this point I think it's not. So let's go with the vampire just because of the lifelink. The opponent makes the Colossus unblockable. So we are about to die now. Unless... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think that we have this. Thank you very much. No, we don't have it. We are short. We are one short. So this is a complete loss. Yes, I'm one mana short to activate the Rogue's Passage, and we did not have anything to make this one sacrificed, and therefore we are pretty much doomed here with onboard state, and the opponent might even get Yulamog, and we are pretty much dead. So Rogue's Passage, quite powerful if you have a very big creature, but at least we got to do our chain of madness into emerge. I think that I was too anxious about that, the anxiety and the rush into do that. I think it was not necessary to do so early, but at least we got what we wanted. Now let's go ahead and try this one again. I think this deck is a bit weak in that is not the removal that we are going to be using if the opponent has something too large, is trying to act of treason and sacrifice, and I have taken away many of the sacrifice options, so we have to be more careful about that. So this hand looks nice because we can play this and turn 3 if the Ravenous Bloodseeker survives. So let's go ahead and try to make that Kozilek's return. It lets us keep the board under our control. So let's start with the Evolving Wilds. So we should search for a mountain, so we have double red and double black. Let's see the opponent playing nothing still. So red, there we go. Now, if this creature survives, we are set. We are on our way to get the Abundant Maw, but the opponent killed our creature, therefore our plans are getting hindered. Let's see if the opponent has something else. Since the opponent did not have a 2-drop, I think this is about control. Let's hope that we can survive. So I think Evolving Wilds is the card to play here. And now we are pretty much at the mercy of our draws and what the opponent does. He can activate the Shambling Bend, and it was a Cliffhaven Vampire with flying and +1/+1 thanks to the Always Watching. Now Call the Bloodline is quite nice in our situation. So let's get another red. Summit. So given the Always Watching, Kozilek's return is not going to be able to do much. Therefore we are a bit behind, and this might be very painful if the opponent, well, oh, now the opponent is going to take away one of our cards, probably Twins or perhaps the Kozilek's return. Let's see, maybe he's scared of this guy. He got scared of our big guy, so I think he is not too afraid of all these other guys. Then let's see if we can do something more powerful here. So we pay 1, then 3, we have 5. So let's go ahead and proceed. If the opponent has another one of these, it's going to be quite harmful. And Rogue's Passage, quite interesting selection of cards. I think the opponent is going to be using more colorless Eldrasis there. Now the attack comes. We're going to discard their twins appears. Yes, we want to cast this. Okie dokie. And at least we can get rid of the Shambling Vent by taking plentiful of damage, but I think that we have to reduce the amount of aggression from the other side. Another twins. Alright, so with this each player draws 10 discards. We have now 6 mana. Alright. This is 2. So no point into attacking here. If we ambush the Thought-Known Seer, we might get value out of that. Also another choice if the Kozilek return, therefore we can kill this guy. If we block with the twins of this Moor Estate. Let's see what the opponent does this time. So let's think, maybe if we block with 1, no, I think we are going to be using this. We get another madness guy. Yes, confirm. Alright. And now we double block here. So the opponent can only kill 1 of our creatures, and we kill the Top-Known Seer, and the Top-Known Seer is forced to make us draw. So we get another card. Oblivion Strike. It's going to kill this guy, but before that happens, we sacrifice and draw, just because otherwise it's not going to be so helpful. We are at 6, the opponent at 3, and we are receiving lots of damage. Now, is this going to do anything for us? We can try to go ahead and find something. The Dire Reach Sanitarium, but we had to discard the Altar Sleep. If we do so, the opponent is going to attack for 3. He activates this. We get another hit because this one makes us lose some life. So if we attack, we are going to gain 1. This goes to 4. So let's just emerge out of our vampire and see what the opponent has in his hand. So, okay, we got rid of a very dangerous guy. Now we have our 5-5, but we die in 2 attacks from the opponent. Unless we start getting some lifelinkers. So this surely a pilot app, always watching, a very powerful spell, and here comes the finishing blow, special contortion, +3, -3, and we get hit for 6, so the top deck made it faster. So let's proceed to our next one. So the enchantments are very hindering for many of the non-white decks. So far this deck is successfully doing the chain of madness, something then emerging, but is not being able to get the victory. So let's try one final attempt on this. So I think I'm going to give up on the idea of this one. I think the black-red combination has better options than we are trying, but let's go ahead and give a last chance to see if we can somehow make this work. Of course, we need the cooperation from the other side of the table to make this happen. So let's see now. Not, I think this is too heavy on the lands, and again, but the grip breaker actually is better than the other one drop. We have also called the bloodline. The opponent running above 60 cards. That's too many. Call the bloodline or discarding to have a token. I think we are going to wait until we get into madness territory to activate the grip breaker. So we should play the bloodline next and hope for something more powerful coming up. If the opponent happens to kill the grip breaker, is not going to be so hard to recover from that. Let's see what happens. We can drive this deck with 3 or 4 mana, as long as we have the double black and double red. We are good. So if we draw into some madness cards, I think that would be ideal, but not yet. So here we are going to get a swamp and pass. Alright, skip the attack. Too many lands in our opening hand, and drawing more lands is not going to help us. But this one is quite powerful if he stays alive. The opponent, I think he's not going to attack quite yet. This is another ramping deck, so if we got our Axe of Treason, we are going to save that for something powerful. Now we continue. Still skipping the attack, and let's hope the opponent plays something huge. Let's hope we draw one of our emerge cards that we can steal and then sacrifice to our creatures. Well, not that big, but still a threat for us. Now we are going to get some zombie token out of a mountain. We can see maybe this as a zombie card instead of a land card. So there we go. We now have 2 zombies, and then sometime we could tap 3 to draw something. And alright, 5 still not there yet. So let's pass the turn. We are going to wait. Well, the opponent, after we did this block, he might not be willing to attack with the Zendikar Incarnate, because we can spawn another zombie token and kill the Incarnate. So for toughness, 2 tokens are going to kill that. So what to do here? I think the opponent realized the danger of this. So if we discard the mountain, I think we run. So let's go with that and hope that we find another land soon, so we can use extended Mindbender. So here the opponent is trying to finish one of our tokens. No, this is not how this works. No, it is. Oh yes, he had the search cost. Well, at least we got rid of several spells. Neonate, alright. So, I'm not going to activate this anytime soon. We should have more cards in our hand. So these 2 lands in the graveyard are kind of regret that, and the opponent kills Neonate with the Oath of Chandra. Six. We better get something going on soon, or we are going to get killed. But so a mistake to drop one of our lands, and now we are going to have to sacrifice the garrison to stay alive, and even there we are not sure that we are going to be right there. So, let's see. No, that's the end of the Hunger Garrison and of our life total. So pretty poorly done. Now the opponent is going to bring back what the elf, and that's it. Well, at least we can, I think, Right, get this out. Treacherous instinct. 5. Well, not too happy to do all this. So we are missing something to kill opponent's creatures. So I think that by now this is over. We can stay on board, but the ship is sinking. We hit the iceberg and we have not the lifeboats ready. So discarding act of treason is horrible. And let's see. The opponent flips Nisa. No, he does not, because he already played the land, giving this one haste. No, it was missionary. Alright, let's just to see what was our next draw. We are going to be looking here. We take one, we gain one, so we stay at 7. But the stuff that is currently in our graveyard is quite remarkable. So the land was waiting for us, but I think it was a very huge misplay. I think, of course, it was a risk to take more damage. So, alright. At least there is a moral to the history. So the double zombie tokens didn't save us from the attack of the Zendikar Incarnate. If we had held into our single token, the opponent still kills us and deals 2 damage to our face and then hits us with the Incarnate, but then we can steal that. Yes, I think I totally missed that. I should have accounted for the possibility of the opponent removing both of our tokens, and that was the mistake. Now let's see if this shows up. Let's see if we learned the lesson and get something better going on here. But let's see what the opponent is going to try this time. Missing lands this time, so let's go with another hand. Not horrible, not horrible. This is again the 2-3 emerge start. Let's see if we. Oh no! Oh no! I think the opponent is going to try the same that we are trying. That is going to be quite something to see. I like this to give haste to our creatures. So far, reds, no blacks. Opponent attacks us for 1. Now we get Mountain and the Blood Seeker. Bloodseeker might die upon something that the opponent might throw at us. We call the bloodline. Not enough madness in the hand to do everything. So the opponent skips. Now, if we attack here, the opponent might finish our guy, but still we get out the Bloodhole Priest, but we also can play here next turn, so I think there is no rush. If the opponent has Fiery Impulse, we lose Bloodseeker anyways, if we choose to block. So let's try to attack and see. The opponent might be saving Twin Bolt or Fiery Impulse that deals 2 damage, also Galvanic Bombardment too. So no play still, so we get called the Bloodline. Let's wait to see what the opponent tries. Another attack. The opponent might be waiting for us to activate the discard of the Bloodseeker, but we now have Olivia, mobilized for war, another Madness Enabler. So let's first try to attack. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. I think the opponent has a bad hand. 2 lands, no plays. So let's discard. We are going to tap the Hammer Battlements and discard the Bloodhole Priest. So out of the deal we get a 1/1 lifelinker and a 4/4, and we have the Act of Treason on the ready, but I don't think the opponent is going to be playing anything big anytime soon, so this time these two are not going to be so useful to remove a threat, so maybe we have to consider into playing extended Mindbender just out of the blue. So still nothing from the opponent. Let's see what he throws away. Kozilek, wow. So the opponent has a quite interesting start, but no plays. Having this in the deck, or well, kind of very weird. So we're going to be attacking now. We have another Madness one in our hand, but I think we can save it. So here we kill the Goblin Arsonist, the Arsonist kills the Vampire Knight. And Twin Bolt to finish our Bloodseeker. Oh, I don't mind. There is our 1 Twin Bolt less in the opponent's side. We drop our 3/3 flyer. perhaps the opponent has two fiery impulses. No, still no plays, and he left the game. So this was quite boring. So let's take a peek on the opponent's hand and leave the game. So I think he was waiting for blue land, was pretty much screwed. So yeah, the opponent kept a poor hand. So do we want to discard something to give this one haste? Okay, come on, we're going to discard this. There we go. Now, even if the opponent draws an island, there is nothing that he can do with the current hand. So, and if he kills one of our guys, we can still give something haste. No, colorless. Yep, but it is over, and well, certainly not too amusing. Let's think. What happens if the opponent had the lands? So this would have been killed earlier, but we could drop the Beautiful Priest, and the Act of Treasons were going to be on delay. So I think if the opponent had lands, we lose the game, because it is nice, but I think the amount of madness cards and discard cards in this version is not the proper one. There is too many discarding cheap effects and not enough madness effects, and also we should be running something to deal with some of the threats instead of so many stealing guys. So well, I'm going to leave the deck as it is, but I think that is not working, and we should be using some interesting red removals or black ones. For instance, this is a nice one, Martyr's Compulsion. We destroy target tapped creature with madness. That is very powerful. Merciless Resolve or Altar's Rip lets us sacrifice to get draw, so maybe more copies of the Altar's Rip goes well with our Act of Treasons. And some other from the side of red, we have the Fiery Conclusion for 2. We deal 5 damage to a target creature by sacrificing one creature, so might combo with the Act of Treason. And also another option, I think it would be the Fiery Temper that deals 3 but has a madness cost of 1. Then yeah, but we should take something away from here, but well, I think that still it wouldn't work that well. Therefore, this is over, and next time we're going to be trying the green flavor with the emerge plus the red stealing effects, and try to make that one work. And I have high hopes for that. So I'll be seeing you soon. I hope you have enjoyed, and see you next time. Sayonara.